you come from? Don't worry, it's not important. Keep stitching and I'll give you a tour. Okay, here we go. The current cell lot was finished in 1912 and quickly became feared in 1920s as Uncle Sam's Island. The first lighthouse was built in 1854 and was later replaced with the current version in 1905. Hey, where have all the tourists gone? You see any? Sometimes I worry that the tourists know something we don't, but I mostly hate when they throw their litter all over the place, especially when it gets blown into the ocean or onto the roof. Someone's gotta clean that up, you know? Not me, someone else. Anyway, last week we caught one of them crawling around trying to scrape some barnacles off the bottom of the boat. They were going to sell them at a fancy farmer's market back on the mainland. Can you believe it? Well, don't get any ideas. Those aren't edible. You can get really sick. Just because you see a bird eating something doesn't mean it's okay for a human to eat it. I learned that one the hard way. My doctor told me that bird stomachs have a special lining and powerful digestive acid. Gross, right? Keep your distance from them. They're vectors for disease. That's what my mom always said, and she lived to be 107 years old. We should all be so lucky. You joined at the perfect time. We were just about to head up to the cell block. You know, it's no longer in use, but some people say they hear strange sounds up there sometimes. I've never heard them myself, but you know me. Sometimes I get so frazzled I can't even hear myself think, especially after a coffee or two. And I usually don't stop at two, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, by the way, I've got a thermos in the back if you'd like a drink. We should probably pull over because if you spill it, I'll have to make a special trip back to the mainland for a refill, and I'm really not supposed to do that. Anyway, what was I saying? Ranger Bob, he's the worst. Ever since he was fired, that whole cult thing, there's been a lot of rumors about the island. You know how they say there's no such thing as bad publicity? I think they're wrong. Ritual sacrifice is bad publicity, but we still do get plenty of tourists. Maybe not as many as before, but still more than enough to keep me busy. Yeah, I don't miss that Ranger Bob. I always knew he was a bad apple from day one. Worse than a bad apple, a bad worm. First up, I'd like to point out that I hate Ranger Bob and think he's evil. It was his job to clean up after those birds that keep messing up our beautiful pavilions, but did he? No! The birds had the run of the place. Now that he's gone, we've been short-staffed for over 20 years, and everyone tries to pitch in, but we can't keep up. There's a lot of birds here, and I don't know what they're eating, but it sure makes a big mess all over the place. You can strut for hours, and the next day, it's just as bad, maybe even worse. Those birds are something else. They have a grim look in their eyes, sharp beaks that poke, and talons that could rip and shred. Those birds have a bad attitude, and guess what? Just last week, one of them pecked me. That being said, in 1775, Alcatraz was originally named La Isla de Alcatraz. In 1846, John Fremont purchased the island for $5,000, but in 1850, President Fillmore ordered that the island would be used as a military facility. The word Alcatraz means pelican, although I've never seen one around here, thankfully. Their large beaks make me uncomfortable. Okay, hold tight and I'll show you the sights, not just the famous and popular sights you might have seen on television or in the movies, but the real Alcatraz, the Alcatraz that locals like myself have come to know and love. That's right, you're riding with the one and only original Ranger on, except no substitutions, no siree. I've worked on this island for most of my life, and believe me, I know it inside and out. I can show you things you've only dreamed of, so hang on tight and stick with me. We're going places, we're going there fast. Anyway, don't forget to pick up a souvenir before you leave. Maybe pick up two. I'm sure there's a couple people waiting for you back home who love a little bit of Alcatraz to call their own. The holidays will be here before you know it. But don't take any rocks or plant life off the island. That's strictly prohibited. You'll get slapped with a hefty fine if you get caught, and you will get caught. Those security guards aren't just for show, you know? Not that they're all as diligent as I like. Keep this between you and me, but I caught Sid napping at the bulldozer just last week. I couldn't believe it. Would you risk a sweet job like this just for a little shine? If he needs a pick-me-up, he's dressed in coffee. I'd be glad to pour him a cup. Always plenty to go around, and Ranger on 64-ounce thermos. Not to mention my backup thermos and my utility thermos. Better safe than sorry, you know what I mean? The prison closed in 1963, but in 1969, Native American activists occupied the place for 19 months. Want to know how they got here? They jumped off a boat and swam ashore. Wild, right? Better not try it yourself. We don't let people in the water these days. See those double doors? They're all over the island, and they lead to secret staircases. They're from back in the day when guards had to get around the place quickly, just like in the movies. I don't like to go in there personally. It's a maze, too dark and spooky, but it's amazing the places you can wind up. One time, a tour group got lost and it took us all day to find them. Well, most of them. Don't worry though, it might have a dark history, but Alcatraz Island is safe as houses these days. Just stay with your tour group and keep a map handy. That's what I always tell my wife and the kids. It's safer on the island than it is on the mainland. But you know, they worry. I worry too. Sheila's been working at the foundry and the commute's a killer. But you wouldn't believe the kinds of accidents they have over there, especially with all the skateboarders causing trouble these days. They can be so reckless in pursuit of their spectacular tricks, their staggering high scores. Present company excluded, of course. I know you always put safety first. Good Lord, where'd you come from? Don't worry, it's not important. Keep stitching and I'll give you a tour. Okay, here we go. The current cell lot didn't let me finish.
Get your ass to Moss.